my name is Vanda, and the group decided to present the theme Solo Travel. As the name says, solo travel consists in traveling alone. Many travelers love the freedom they have when they're on their own, because basically there's no need to make concessions or miss out on something you want to do because the group doesn't want to. Also, lone travelers are less intimidating once you are more likely to be approached by curious locals or fellow travelers. But not everything is good because there are some downsides as well. Solo travel can get kind of lonely, especially during the meal times. The best things about solo travel is that the only person you have to worry about is yourself. You can do exactly what you want to do, and you can go exactly where you want to go without having to worry about anyone else disagreeing with your decisions. Leisure travel used to be a family affair or something that couples undertook together. And while that's still the case for many, more and more people are choosing to strike out on their own. And enjoying a solo trip is no longer so unusual, and tourist trends increasingly reflect this. The needs of solo travelers are diverse. Some simply want to travel without the distraction of a companion, others are young singles looking for social activities or to find a partner. And some Whitewood seniors even use long-term hotel stays or cruises as luxurious alternative to conventional elder care. These tourism trends are set to grow, and the curious fact is that some 50% of all those who travel on holiday go solo at least once a year. And the trend is expected to grow, driven mainly by women, travelers, and adventure seekers. Whether you are an expert at traveling by yourself or you are thinking about going alone for the first time, we thought it would be a good idea to talk a little bit about this topic that is not very well known, so that we can inform or motivate people to leave their comfort zone and have new and exciting experiences. So now that we've come up with an overview of what it's like to travel alone, my colleagues Adriana, Daniela, and Danielle will talk about the following topics: reasons that lead people to travel alone, how to travel safely alone, as well as some tips for the best destination and sites to solo travelers.
So traveling with friends and family can be incredible. So sometimes people ask themselves why they should travel alone. So here are the main reasons why people decide or think in the first place about traveling alone. Normally, it's difficult to arrange vacation dates with our friends and families because people are stuck with work. So normally our friends aren't available. Sometimes people can't afford it. Just because I believe that traveling is one of the most important things in my life doesn't mean that the other person thinks the same. So sometimes our friends aren't willing to spend a lot of money in traveling. Our friends aren't interested in traveling, or usually not interested in the same things to do when traveling. It's hard to find someone who likes the same things as we do, especially when traveling. And people want to feel independent because taking a trip alone is very good on its own, and it's a huge moment of independence. And sometimes because people just love freedom and spontaneous. Nowadays it's difficult, as I already said, to arrange dates with our friends. It's difficult to have the same tastes as our friends, the same interests as our friends. So if you want to travel, you just travel. But of course, not everyone has the same desire or courage to travel alone, and they always prefer to travel together because now that way they have someone to share experience. But there is much more in traveling. So we put together reasons given by solo travelers that demonstrate that we should travel alone at least one in our life. More focused on the destinations. Since we are traveling alone, the destination is the most important part of the journey. When we are traveling with friends, family, boyfriend, husband, it's necessary to arrange a place that both people or both friends or the whole family likes. So when we are traveling alone, we just focus on us and the places, the destinations we really like and we really want to visit. Traveling alone builds confidence. Traveling alone means that you make your own decisions, you become confident. There's nothing like overcoming obstacles, for example, the language. If you lose a train and you have to arrange a way to get another train, so can build your confidence. You have financial control. As a solo traveler, you have the last and the only world in where you spend your money. If you want to go just to free museums, if you want to have dinner every night, if you don't want to go to dinner every night because you are traveling alone. You will meet more locals. If you are with a friend or a family, it's more tempting to talk to each other. Otherwise, if you go alone, you have the necessity, or at least you are more encouraged to talk to locals and to another peoples, and by that you can or you could learn another language. To really make the most of the trip, learning a little bit of the language can really help you to get to know the places you're visiting, to get to know places that sometimes the tourists don't go. And traveling alone means you'll be much more likely to interact with locals, and you can pick up or learn a little bit of their language. All the time in the world to reflect and think in peace. Sometimes we just need time to ourselves and time to think. And when you go to our friends, and let's go to the second part, it's not easy to take a break. So it's easy to take a break when you are alone, because with friends it's like go, everyone wants to go somewhere, they want to visit a museum, but the other person wants to go visit a castle. So it's rushing. You are always rushing unless you go to a resort or something, but even there you have a lot of things to do, and sometimes you just want to relax and take your time to enjoy the city you are visiting, to take your time in the museums, and that's very good. Self-discovery. One thing you can be certain of is that at the end of your travels, you'll know yourself much better than you did at the start. No drama. This is a funny one. Sometimes when people are single, they don't want to travel alone because they really need to feel that they are sharing their experience with someone. And when people start to date, or they are in a relationship, the first thing they want to do is travel. But if things don't go well, the entire trip can be miserable and can be a disaster. So if you're traveling alone, you don't have, and we say boyfriend, but it could be friends or family. If you travel alone, you don't want to take no drama from anyone, because you make your own decisions, you can take a break. So this is all reasons why people decide to travel alone, and why you should travel alone if you never traveled alone before.